Bobby Hull, what do you think?
I think that is a wonderful, wonderful fish. And if anyone hasn't had the experience of catching a fish that is 30 pounds plus, they have to do it. They have to come to Owen Sound, don't they?
Hi, I'm Darryl Choronzey. This is the greatest hockey player that ever lived, Bobby Hull, and we're up in Owen Sound. This is Bobby's Fish. Stick with us, we'll be right back.
And one of the greatest fishermen.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Johnson and Evinrude Outboards from OMC, the world's leader in marine power. Stratus Boats from OMC. We take the world boating. And by Formosa Springs cold filtered draft beer. Formosa, famous for beer since 1870. Where can you find the hottest salmon action on the Great Lakes come the last week in August? Why, without a doubt, it has to be in the waters out from the city of Owen Sound, Ontario. Over a 10-day period leading up to Labor Day, this section of Georgian Bay is converged upon by thousands of anglers who take to their boats in pursuit of the dynamic Chinook salmon, and also first prize in the Formosa Springs Owen Sound Salmon Spectacular. The Spectacular is staged at a time when the overgrown king salmon are making their way back from the open waters of the Great Lakes to the Sydenham River, where they were stocked 3 and 4 years earlier by the members of the Sydenham Sportsmen's Association. The return of the salmon is also a special time for the anglers who chase after them. Not only are the fish plentiful and the catches rewarding, but this scenic city on the western shores of Georgian Bay takes on a festive mood. Visiting and resident anglers alike are entertained with special fishermen's evenings. A number of fish fries are also staged, where as many as 3,000 hungry appetites are satisfied with deep-fried fillets from these same returning Chinook salmon. Yes, the waters out from Owen Sound are definitely the place to come the last week of August. And this time around, Darryl Choronzey and hockey immortal Bobby Hull go chasing after the big ones together.
Bobby, here. You take this. You got him, Bob. I'll take that one. You get this one.
Now, have you got the hook in them all right?
I got the hook in that one.
You had that other one hooked all right, and apparently you didn't, but
I'll tell you what, buddy.
He took this one right off the other line.
Listen,
That's
yours
pretty
goes
good
off,
fish.
breaks the line. This rod goes off, breaks the line.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
The line broke?
Yeah, we got a lure floating out there somewhere. Well, we won't worry about the line. We'll just worry about this fish.
Let's just get this fish up to the boat so we can see him anyhow.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Hull. Are they
That's pretty good going.
Are they this big in the Bay of Quinte?
Bay of Quinte? Well, the biggest that I ever saw out of the Bay of Quinte was my sister when she was 10 years old, just down from Point Anne on the South Shore, hooked a 30-pound muskie on a green trolling line. Yeah, ooh, look at that.
Look at the size of this Chinook.
Ooh.
He's gone down, eh?
Oh, he's going again, yeah?
You know what I've got on there? I've got 12-pound test line on.
Okay.
A lot of these guys want to use heavy line.
Oh, this is nice.
I heard you can fish. You're proving it.
Well, they landed that. It was 48 inches long, 30 pounds. And Maxine didn't want it when she saw it come up to the boat. And Dad got the head of it in this little onion bag and went to lift it. As he did, fortunately, it flopped towards, he had an 18-foot cedar strip. It flopped towards the boat.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. How can you fish and tell me all the stories?
I remember all those. I remember all those stories. And ironically enough, my dad had asked me to go with him that night, and I would have been the one that had hooked it. But Maxine loved to fish.
Did you mount it, eat it, or release it?
Well, all we could think about was eating it. We didn't have enough money back then to mount it. There were 11 in our family. That was food for us for a couple of weeks.
Look at this. Now, this is what I like about this lineman. It's right on the surface. It lets you know where the fish is. I'll tell
That's
you.
a big fish.
I'm going to tell you the story on these fish after, Bobby, where they're coming from and how the club's raising them and what's happening.
That's great.
You know, here we are, 6:30 in the morning. Look at the boats around here.
Isn't that amazing? It was like the Spanish Armada when we came out
Well, that's
here.
what you said as soon as we come out. Just look at this. You got a nice fish there, Bobby. What he's going to do, look at this. Now he's coming up on the surface.
Yes, he
and
is.
this wind is just blowing us right back towards the fish.
Here he comes up to the boat.
You know what?
What
I was
are
just
they?
thinking.
What's
These are long Loomis rods. And I'll tell you what I did. I just, look at this. He's down there, I'll bet you.
He's sounding.
He's a pretty good fish.
Yes, he is.
Okay, Bobby, I'm going to try and have a look at him and see what he's going to do here. He's going where he wants to go.
Oh, he is.
Oh, look at the size of that pig.
Okay, you get that sucker in the net.
Get the sucker
There,
in the net.
Daryl. Now that's a fish.
Hey,
What do you think?
that's a pig and a half, buddy. Holy
That's just like we catch down the Bay of Quinte.
the Bay of Quinte.
Look at
Look at
that.
the size of that. Look at that.
What do you think, Daryl?
What do you think?
I would say.
You hold these your fish.
Holy Christ, I can't. Oh.
Is that a dandy?
Is he nice?
You know what? That'll go
20
close.
what? 20?
26, 27.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Hicks is listening over on Lake Huron,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Let's say it's a 32. You think they get them that big over on your?
I haven't seen one quite. I caught a 20-some pounder about 4 years ago in the Chantry, and it's hanging in the ice house up at the brewery in Formosa.
Bobby, I'll tell you what. Why don't we put that on the wall at Formosa?
I think we'll have him up facing the other guy. That is a beautiful fish. Now, I caught a 35-pound salmon out in Qualicum. I was fishing with Andy Bathgate's father-in-law, John Lewis. A 35-pound spring with a long rod in fast water.
A lot of action.
With the falls up one way and a rock pile down the other. 45 minutes later, I brought him up.
I'm gonna tell
Beautiful.
you what. I'm gonna get you to hold that right there.
All right.
I'm gonna get a picture of you. What do you think?
Oh, that sounds good.
Hey?
Sounds
I
great.
beat. You hold it. Hang on, Bobby.
Oh, that's more than 25 pounds.
Bobby, just get that fish up there and we'll take this
If
shot.
I can.
Bobby, let's have one for posterity.
This is for the West Coast.
Bobby, what do you think? Can it get any nicer? We've got clear skies. We've got the Owen Sound skyline in the background. You've got a couple salmon. You got a big stogie in your hand.
Courtesy Brian McDonald. But I can't really believe how tremendously clear this water is here off Owen Sound. It's tremendous.
You know,
This is
guys come up here fishing from Toronto and they're good salmon fishermen. Like Brian's got Barry Carr on the boat today. But they come up, the water's not murky in Lake Ontario, but it's not as clear as this. And when you get up here, you got to change your tactics all around.
Well, I'm sure I asked you if you use flashers up here.
Yeah.
That's how we used to fish, of course, out in BC for salmon. I'm sure it's a different way to fish, and we've had some good luck. Lost a couple, got a nice one
The
in
big
the
one
box.
there?
Oh yeah, that's great. But this is great fishing. This is wonderful, wonderful country, and I think you should be proud of what we have to offer, not only the locals, but
Tourists as well. Well, like I was telling you, Bobby, to get the big salmon here and to get a lot of salmon action, you've got to be on the water just as that sun starts peeking up 6 in the morning. Usually goes till 9, and something else that's a little different. I've got linemen's on there, and when I'm up close to the boat, I've got that lineman way back. I get down deeper, I try and pull it into the cannonball.
Every lake and every body of water fishes differently, and you know what you have to do to catch the fish here, and it held true to form this morning. They hit really great early this morning, and then they've kind of
slowed
down.
I think we should fish here for another 15-20 minutes, right? Then I'm going to take you out for some lake trout,
Well, I'd love that.
and then we're going to go barbecue up some fish. What do you think?
I was with George Cooper down in the Bay of Quinte, and I'll tell you what, he's a great fisherman and a great guy. And he not only knows how to catch them, but he knows how to clean them and knows how to cook them.
I got to say something. This guy gets on the boat. Well, you got down to the boat at 5:30 this morning, right?
Absolutely.
He says,
Yeah.
"Where's the ice?" I wonder what he's got, and he's got smoked, barbecued lake trout.
Lake trout
perch.
and perch that George Cooper had cleaned for me, and boy, there's nothing better.
I'll tell you.
I cooked that up last night.
And you know,
Just
hey,
on a little barbecue.
and it's true. If you eat fish, you never get fat.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyone who says they don't like fish, there's got to be something wrong with them.
Something wrong with it?
My dad was the greatest fisherman down in the Bay of Quinte, he caught more fish than I think anyone that ever fished in that bay. And he could eat fish morning, noon, and night. And I guess I'm my father's son because I just love it. I can eat any kind of fish any time of day.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to cook up some fish for you later on that's just going to blow your mind. Listen, let's give it 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll go for some lake trout. What do you say?
I'm all for that.
Let's go.
Love it.
And now here's the Berkeley tip of the week. While salmon attack baits throughout the day, the best opportunity for trolling success comes first at dawn and then again at dusk. Going Fishing will return with more salmon action.
Mr. Hull!
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Good for you.
And I think I got one of our Georgian Bay butterballs.
What a chiz.
Nice heavy lake trout.
Good.
Bobby, I'll tell you what, I told you they were on that downrigger, or on that fish fighter, and I said, let's get that downrigger down.
It's about time. What do you think that's
buddy? We've only been fishing a couple hours.
Well, that's what I said. It's about time they hit.
Bobby,
now, do you think it's the top lure or the bottom lure?
I think it's the bottom lure.
All right, let's
Can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Can you grab the net?
I can get the net.
Oh, is this a dandy? No, I don't know. They get down there, and they just seem to plug. I'm going to bring her around this way, Bobby. You bring the net over here.
Get it on your side.
You know what I think?
Get it away from those props.
Now, I've got that cheater on there, right?
I told you. That's what I said. Have you got it on the top lure or the bottom one?
I think she's on the bottom. I'm saying she because the females seem to like these lures. Yeah, Bobby, there.
To the surface right here. My dad always said, wet the net first. Robert? He'd say,
wet the net?
Wet the net.
You know how many people I know? She's gonna come around this way, Bobby. And that hook is just there.
Oh, hey. All right. Take it easy. Take it easy. Bring him over. Bring him over. Gently. Gently.
You know what? If you could scoop the net under that fish, Mr. Hull. All right, Mr. Hull.
Well done.
Hey, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fillet this fish for you. Get that cheater out of the way. We'll have this on the barbie.
What about that big one that I got?
I'll tell you what, that big one, I'm going to fillet that up for you. Now, I've got two things. First off, I told you we're going to mount a fish, right?
Yes, yes.
We're going to mount the big one, but at the same time, you're going to eat it. I got a buddy that does fiberglass replicas.
Great.
We'll fillet this one up. We'll do it on the barbecue on the side fryer.
Sounds great.
I think we'll have a ball. Now, that's typical what we got up here, Bobby.
Now, what's that?
That's pure lake trout.
About 5 pounds? What are you looking?
Georgian Bay standards, that's 15, 16 pounds.
No.
No, what we got, that's probably a 4.5-year-old lake trout. Oh. That's a pure laker.
Would your club have released that? Raise them?
No, what we did, though, was we didn't fight with the ministry. We disagreed with them. They had the Splake program, and we got them to get out of this half brook trout, half lake trout fish and go with this critter.
So that they knew they were all lake trout and they knew what to do.
Yeah, they really know. Like the other fish didn't know. They were swimming around in a blur out in clear water.
I could understand that.
I'll tell you what, buddy, put her there. Have a little Georgian Bay lake trout slime. Let's go.
What is it? What is that they say? Like this? Still working on the fishing diet.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to see Monica at the barbecue.
And now here's the Woodstream tackle selection of the day. Today we use Berkeley Trimax with a custom downrigger rod and a Quantum Pro 4 reel. Our lures were the Clownfinish Lyman and the Black and Chartreuse Hookster. Cut baits are lethal lures when it comes to trolling for pre-spawn open water Chinook salmon. At this stage of their lives, the big kings have for the most part ceased all feeding as they wait for nature's call to the spawning grounds. Still, experienced anglers have discovered that cut baits such as Lymans, J-plugs, and Tomics will consistently trick even sulking salmon into wrapping their jaws around a pair of sharp treble hooks. Many anglers believe that the salmon are striking out at these odd-shaped baits out of habit, while others are of the opinion that the big fin bullies just can't stand being pestered by the darting action of the fast-moving baits. Did we say fast-moving? Well, when it comes to cut plugs, Choronzey believes the faster and more erratic the dance of the bait, the better. He's a fisherman that believes proper color is imperative for success as well. Faced with the clear water conditions of Georgian Bay, Darryl utilizes highly visible white and red dotted or glow-in-the-dark Lymans at dusk and dawn periods. In periods of bright skies, our troller turns to tiger combinations of green, blue, and yellow. On hazy or overcast days, pinks, yellows, or mother-of-pearl shades are proven salmon tricksters. As for size, Choronzey is one angler that believes in the theory of big lures catching big fish. 6 and 7-inch limans may appear large at first, but obviously will attract more attention than the smaller models when darting around deep under the surface.
Bobby Hall, hot day, eh?
It was very warm out there, but refreshing.
I'll tell you, I said, let's get out.
Caught some fish. That's all right.
That's all you're worried about?
Sure.
You said you wanted to catch fish. Listen, I said to you, we got to get out early in the morning, right?
Yeah,
and
I
it's
agree.
a lot nicer trolling it, isn't it? Nice, even though you can't see where you're going at 5:30 in the morning. It's nice.
100%. That's the fish bite in the morning, and that's understandable. If you have to get up at 4, that's understandable.
Oh, before we go any farther, any of you kids out there, and the adults too, if you haven't seen hockey lately, and I don't think anybody's seen hockey lately, because I don't call what we're looking at hockey as hockey. My own personal opinion, I don't want to get you in trouble. This guy was the greatest hockey player in the world, and his type of hockey was the type of hockey I like, so I've said it, right? And we said, no Don Cherry stuff, we're just going to do this. Getting back to it, though, we got clear water there. We've got clear water, we've got hot, sunny conditions. The salmon don't like it. I said, we've got to get out at 6 in the morning. We've got to get, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And you said, what are we going to use? And I said, well, we're going to run this Quantum Pro 4. We ran a custom-built 8-weight rod. Now, don't ask me what the 8-weight stands for, Bobby. I know that we were running 10-pound tests and 12-pound tests today. When we got out there, I said, hey, we need a lure that's really going to do something. And it's called a Lyman. It's made in Kelowna, BC. We're not paid to say so, but we caught a lot of fish with it. Eh?
We certainly did, and that was a great outfit.
I'll tell you what the lure does do. It dips and dives. It's erratic. I've never seen a lure like this. And these salmon, like I was telling you, they're about to spawn in another month. They're off the feed, but that turns on their taste buds, and they can't pass it up.
And you also said that when the salmon go to grab this, with that erratic motion, they'll sometimes grab the line.
Oh, I know what you're doing. I know what you're getting to. That fish that you lost.
That fish that we lost, the first one that we had, we'd have had a double.
Well, and I told you, I says, well, we lost 2 today on that.
Yes, we did.
You can't. I won't run a leader, because what you want is when the fish hits, you want that lure to slip up that line, and the hook's still down here.
Yes,
so
yes,
you can
I
follow
agree.
the fish.
I understand.
But your handicap, sometime he's going to hit that line.
That's all right. That's all right.
A 30-pounder, you got sharp teeth.
Hey, if I had the fishing that we had today, every day that I went out, I wouldn't complain at all.
Well, I said to you, I says, what do you want to do next? And you said, well, why don't we go for a little lake trip? And I says, well, why don't we go right outside the office? And again, ran that hookster, and that's my lake trout lure. It's got that black and chartreuse on one side, white on the other.
And it did the job, did it not?
Before we go any farther, I've got to say something. This guy was known as, I guess, an aggressive hockey player. You love the game, right? You must love fishing, because I don't think this is going to be on film today. It might be, but Bobby had one up to the boat, and I says, wait a minute. The camera guy says, we're out of tape. And I says, Bobby, watch it. I'll just hold your line, and the fish got off, right?
Yes.
I thought I was going over after the fish.
Well, now, I enjoy fishing. I love to catch the fish, but I love to eat it too. And I could just see 2 beautiful 5-pound fillets going down the drain. That was all. I'm from a family.
You get more upset than my son does.
Good for him. He's competitive. I'm from a family of 11, and fishing with my dad in the Bay of Quinte and my sisters and brothers, that was food for a day. So I never ever like to lose a fish.
You don't like seeing it swim away?
No, I do not.
So you're not the type of guy who take my pliers when they just cut the line off?
No, I would not. Anyone that would ever cut my line, I know there's another filleting knife right there, and he better go over for it, sir, right after.
You said something to me earlier, and you said, what is this? And I said, it's what we call a cheater. Now, it's legal, and all it is an extra lure that we're putting over the side, and it's legal as long as you watch the number of hooks that the government allows you. You can put these on.
Absolutely.
And all we did was snap that
Was
onto
that
the main line.
About a 4-foot lead?
Yeah, about 4.5.
Yeah.
And it falls down the line. It stops at that bow in the line, and a fish comes along, and he's going to pull it down and snap the release.
Absolutely.
Listen, Mr. Hull, I had a hull of a time. What can I say? We're going to go over to the barbecue.
And we'll do it.
And I guess we're going fishing tonight.
Tonight and maybe tomorrow morning early.
You're
Do you
up
think
here.
we could do it?
Yeah, we've got the Derby tomorrow. We've got the Owen Sound Salmon Spectacular. It's probably the second biggest derby in Canada. The club up here makes $50,000. Algonquin's a big sponsor of ours.
Our company, they're the greatest people. Before you can have a great company, you have to have great people, and they want to be a part of the community. They are part of this community up here in the Bruce and in this area, and they want to put back into the community. And in the Chantry alone, In the last 5 years, they have donated something like $50,000
Towards the fishery
to the
project.
fishery, and here again we're involved here.
Yeah,
in
you got
Georgian
involved
Bay.
this year. If you get the opportunity, and you've got to see what they've got up in Owen Sound. I think we had a good time.
Oh, we had a great time.
Let's go and cook up some of your fish.
I think
I'll say
that's a
your
good
fish.
that's a good idea. Thanks.
Let's go for
Because
it.
the one that it was my fish that you lost. Okay.
Going Fishing will return with a barbecue shore lunch.
Mr. Hall, hot day in the old town tonight.
Hot day out on the lake, but a little hotter here. And
It's a
what are
lot-
you going to throw in
it's
here,
a lot
pal?
hotter. Listen, you got a bathing suit on. I had to go
Yes.
back and change. It was
This
pretty
is
hot out there.
this is one of yours.
Listen,
I didn't
always
bring
knew
one.
we had the same waist. I already told you we got the same bicep.
Same forearm.
Hold it now. I'll do that again.
Oh,
Bobby, we had a good day today.
yes, we did.
You know? And I said,
Big
when we get-
salmon.
Big salmon, a couple acres.
Couple acres.
Somebody lost the salmon.
We don't talk about that now. We got enough there. Throw it in the old hot pot.
What I've done, Bobby, is we've got some salmon here and we've got some of our lake trout. And I'm going to dredge this through the egg. I'm going to put it in my Primo breadcrumbs, right? Little Loretta spice. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be better than anything you've ever tasted.
Let's try it.
Try it. Let's go
Get
for
at
it.
it.
Just going to run it right through there, Bobby.
Ooh, that's in the egg.
And you know what? If you check this, these breadcrumbs have got cheese right in them. I've added a little spice to it. Right?
Oh,
It's nice, eh?
look at that.
I'll tell you what, Bobby. I've got a buddy that owns Hay Island,
Oh,
and his name is Mr. Litz. And I was down at his place the other day, and he says, you got to try this Primo breadcrumbs. And I says, hey, I'm willing to try anything as long as it's got something to do with fish. And it's just dynamic. And like I said, the cheese is right there.
is that down by, what's the other island? Just
White Cloud and Griffith?
and Griffith?
Yeah. Well, they get all those deer and those pheasant.
Yeah, good friends of mine. Gil and Molly Heatherson, they're members, I think, there at Griffin. And they take Teddy and Gloria Richard up there, and they do some shooting. They love it. Of course,
private
Gil.
club?
Yeah, Gil is a great shot. He was a member of the Canadian Olympic team.
You know, there's nothing wrong
Skeet
with
trap.
fishing or shooting, right? You know,
Oh.
we've got some tree huggers out there sometimes that don't like all this, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Not a bit of problem with it, Darryl, when you stay within the laws and you shoot what you should shoot and catch what you should catch and release what you should release.
You know, talking about releasing, some of the guys say, God, you eat a lot of fish. Sure, I eat a lot of fish. I love eating fish, you know, and it's good for you. You don't get fat.
Absolutely.
But what we've got a little thing here. We have too many salmon, maybe, and the salmon are going to die when they spawn, so we eat them.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing right. That's nature.
They should not go to waste, and if they're put to good use, I know we're from a family of 11, and we ate all the fish that we ever caught down the Bay of Quinte.
Buddy, I had a great time today. You know, I think we make a team.
It was my
Too
pleasure.
bad we didn't play hockey together. I was one heck of a hockey player, I'll tell you that.
That might have been the only time that you could have been a centerman.
I want to get you back up.
I'd love to do it.
If you get the opportunity, don't pass up the fantastic salmon and trout fishing in Owen Sound, and don't miss the Formosa Owen Sound Salmon Spectacular. See you next week.
Well, I'm going fishing all of the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the good bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing, yes, I'm going fishing, and my baby's going fishing too.